Still
I think
young.
it's important to see the choice of words used in the sirat.
Yes.
Right? A young girl or a daughter or who's still young.
Who is
right?
still young.
Who's not of a mature age. Yes.
Number which can be easily mistaken or
during the transcribing
Yes.
period, during the narration, after many centuries later, after Holy Prophet ﷺ, and after the demise of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha. And we presented evidence, and it's very important to know that this evidence, we have also presented the choice of words is very important. In the history of Ibn Hisham, the choice of words of Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, that, the Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha is now time to, is ready for her to get married. She's of age. Of age, the customary in those days. Assalamu alaikum, Anjum Saab. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
That's good. So in today's episode of Discover Islam, it's a continuation from the previous episode where we discussed allegations against Islam.
Yeah.
As you remember, we went out leafleting, we distributed flyers in letterboxes, and a gentleman, upon discovering our flyer, he gave us a call on the phone and he asked a few questions which are allegations against Islam. And one of the questions today we want to address is a very common allegation or misconception that the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, married an underage girl.
Yeah.
Okay, and this girl in question is Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha. So, Anjum Saab, if you could explain for the benefit of our viewers, who is Hazrat Aisha? Who was Hazrat Aisha?
Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha was daughter of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anha. And she was one of the highest regarded scholar women in Islam.
Okay.
Holy Prophet ﷺ said that if you want to learn half of the faith, you can learn from Aisha radiallahu anha. There are many companions who would go to her if they had any questions.
Yes.
She was she leaded an army of men at one time against, in the Battle of Camel.
Okay.
So she led an army of men at the time where women were persecuted, or you can say that they were not considered anything other than Islam.
Yeah,
so
inferior,
we present her as a women were, how much women were regarded in Islam.
Yes.
And we represent Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha, that in 1400 years ago, Muslims accepted her as their leader.
Okay.
And she led that army. So she has a very high rank in Islam.
Yes.
And I think that is the reason when Christians decided or wanted to made up this story to attack Holy Prophet ﷺ, they chose her.
Aisha, yes.
And obviously there is some misconceptions,
of course,
which we are here to
absolutely
remove,
absolutely. So Jazakallah, and thank you so much for introducing who Aisha is, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha. So obviously she's the blessed wife of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, the allegation is that based on a hadith. Hadith is a collection of sayings or narrations of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there is a particular narration which is frequently cited by our critics of Islam. I mean, hadith can be found in different books, Bukhari, Muslim, different books. But the particular hadith which Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha herself said, or it is quoted that she said that she married at the age of 6, and she consummated the marriage with the Holy Prophet at the age of 9. Now, perhaps you want to speak about this hadith and whether or not it's true.
Yes. So basically, in Islam, there are 2 steps of marriage.
Okay.
One is nikah, which is contract of marriage.
Yes.
So, as per this hadith, she had nikah at the age of 6.
Okay. So nikah is a contract.
Contract of marriage. And then
Yes.
When she actually moved in with Holy Prophet ﷺ, that this hadith
Claims that
she was 9.
Okay.
But actually, what I think this is wrong, obviously, and there are many reasons behind it.
Okay.
What actually happened probably is because there is no birth and death documentary
Records,
from that time. Everything is based on estimation. So Hazrat Aisha Razila anha could have said 16 and 19 because 6 and 16, they are not like in English one word. 16 is not one word. It's like Sitta Ashara. So there are two words,
like
6, 10.
Yeah.
So what happened, if you understand how these narrations were copied over?
Yes.
About 1,000 years ago, someone narrated this hadith to some other person, and then that some other person narrated it to some other person, and finally,
so there's a chain of narrations.
Finally it was written.
Yes.
And once it was written on probably one page.
Yeah.
Now that page, when it was very old, it could have been easily mistranslated into 16 into 6,
so it was
and 19
wrongly.
into 9.
Yeah.
So there was no Google or no second peer reviews
like an
that
independent
this is not the right book. They had only one copy, and there was no copy thousands of miles, and they could not travel. So they just copied it from the copy and then continued copying it.
Yes.
So, but when we claim this, there has to be evidence, and we have evidence to support that she was actually 16 and 19 or about that age. And that she could not have been 6 and 9.
Impossible. So obviously that is some misinformation about her age, which was misinterpreted wrongly. It could have been the fault of some narrators later on down the track. They could have transcribed it wrongly. Instead of 6, it could have been 16.
And this could have been because there has been this tussle between Christianity and Islam always.
The Crusades especially.
Yes. So someone could have deliberately made that 16 into 6 as well. Audience must know that hadiths are not protected as Holy Quran is.
Yes, exactly. So
there is no claim whatsoever by any person that hadiths are once narrated or saved as it is. There are many changes that could happen, especially in the era when there was no publication. People would write from one book to another, or sometimes from memory.
Absolutely, yes.
Because
and as we know, hadith comes 100 years, 200, 300 years after the Holy Prophet ﷺ. But the Holy Quran, as we know, is a primary source. It is preserved in its original form.
And Holy Quran mentions age of marriage.
Excellent.
It does not mention the number, but it does indicate what age of marriage should be. The chapter 4.
So chapter 4 is Surah An-Nisa, and I'll read the translation. So it's verse 7 in the Ahmadiyya Holy Quran, where we count Bismillah. But for viewers, you can refer to verse number 6. And the verse reads, "And prove the orphans until they attain the age of marriage. Then if you find them in sound judgment, deliver to them their property."
Yes. So the situation is that a person is taking care of property of an orphan. That orphan was minor, and when he reaches, Quran says, when he reaches a marriageable age, if you find him wise enough to handle the property, then hand it over. So this is age of marriage, which is at least puberty. A person at the moment in Australia, the financial age is 18. So no child can sign a contract before that. So if we consider in this context, the age of marriage would be 18 as per Islam. But we know there are in the previous ages It could have been earlier when people would have handled
based on the
their
customs
property,
of those days. Yes.
but this could never been below puberty.
Yes.
So once the age of puberty is
Correct.
achieved, then a person is supposed to be wise enough to handle their financial affairs.
Absolutely.
A minor cannot be given
Yes.
or considered in this.
Even if we apply logic and sound reasoning, how could it be possible, for a 6-year-old child, to be contracted into a marriage, and to be married to a prophet of God who had heavy responsibilities on his shoulder. So how can it even be possible? So obviously, his wife to be has to be someone of a very high caliber, as you say, very wise in sound judgment, as per the Holy Quran.
Holy Quran, yes. So Holy Prophet ﷺ cannot act against Holy Quran, and we can say Hazrat Aisha's age must have been above puberty.
Yes.
Now there is another situation. Holy Prophet ﷺ, when he was 25 years of age, his first marriage was to Hazrat Khatija Raziyallahu anha.
Yes.
This marriage continued for 25 years.
And she was 40.
She was 40?
She was 40 years of age when he was 25.
And for 25 years, Holy Prophet ﷺ did not marry anyone else.
Okay.
There was no... he loved her dearly.
Yes.
And we know the narration years after in Medina, whenever he would heard a voice resembling Hazrat Khatija Raziyallahu anha, like sister of Hazrat Khatija, he would jump up. Oh God, my Khatija, something like that. So it's
reminded him
love was
his love.
So he loved for 25 years. That was a marriage of love and care with each other.
Loyalty for
and,
many years. Yes.
So at the age of when Holy Prophet ﷺ was 50, Hazrat Khatija Raziyallahu anha passed away.
Yes.
For 3 years, Holy Prophet ﷺ did not marry anyone.
Yes, and this is a very important point.
This is a very important point here. So he was not God forbid, a person who was lustful.
Yes. In pursuit of pleasures and things like that.
That's right. So you see the maturity from age of 50 and 53, he did not marry.
Yes.
So at the age of 53, someone mentioned to him that you should get married. That's when he asked who you are thinking
This
of.
was in Medina?
This was still in Mecca.
Still in Mecca, okay. Yes.
So just after Shebi Abi Talib time,
okay,
and before Hijrah,
okay,
just before
Hijrah, yes.
So Holy Prophet said, "Who do you have in mind?" That was first. She had already married, but she was widow.
Okay. And
the second name she presented was Aisha bint Abu Bakr, who is of marriageable age as well.
Okay.
So, a woman mentioning Hazrat Aisha to be marriageable age, this indicates she was marriageable age.
Absolutely.
It is not she was known to be ready for marriage.
Yes.
That's why she was mentioned to the
So it's an important point that it's not a child that's forced into marriage.
Yes.
I think this is very important to clear, especially in this day and age.
This proposal is coming from a third party to Holy Prophet ﷺ, that you have these two options.
Correct. And they are righteous women.
Yes.
Of very sound judgment. Exactly. And of course, they will present a very sound decision for the Prophet.
Holy Prophet ﷺ said, okay, send the proposal to both of these.
Yes.
And whoever accept, I will marry.
Okay.
And they both accepted. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu ta'ala anha's daughter, Hazrat Aisha Raziyallahu ta'ala anha, accepted it.
Okay.
And on the other end, I'm forgetting her name.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll come back.
She accepted Hazrat Mu'mineen Raziyallahu ta'ala anha. Now, those...
so there were two marriages here.
Yes. So
Holy
Prophet ﷺ married to both of those.
Yes.
Hazrat... she moved in.
Okay.
And Holy Prophet ﷺ started living with her. Hazrat Aisha Raziyallahu ta'ala anha did not.
Okay.
And she was after the Hijrah, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq anhu one day approached Holy Prophet ﷺ and said, Aisha's age of marriage is passing. If you have to, if you want to bring her to your house, this is the time. We don't want to wait any longer.
Okay.
So this could have been only if she was like 19 or 21. So Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq anhu was being panicked. Okay, if Holy Prophet ﷺ, God forbid, divorced her, she did not move in, and Holy Prophet said, okay, I don't want to. And then she won't be able to marry again because her age is passing.
Already passing, yes.
So
and from a traditional perspective, custom perspective, it's quite a big deal.
Yes.
For the Arabs in those days. Yes.
So this could be because she was 21 or 19.
Yeah.
As we are
Yes.
thinking. So that way, now see, someone proposed her to be marriageable, and then her father indicated her age is passing.
Passing, yes. She's growing older.
She's growing
by the years.
older.
Yeah, yes.
And then
Yes.
Holy Prophet ﷺ allowed, and she moved in with Holy Prophet ﷺ.
Okay. Again, these are all estimates. The age are estimate.
Yes.
We don't know exactly what age, but we do know based on the narrations, like the style, of conversations. For example, as you mentioned, Hazrat Abu Bakr, the father of Hazrat Aisha, radiallahu anha, approached the Holy Prophet ﷺ and said, "Look, my daughter is now passing the age of marriage."
Yeah.
And in those days, we can assume, based on other traditions as well, that the age of marriage, is of a girl who has reached puberty, maturity, of a sound mind. Yes.
Yeah. So that's when she was got contract of marriage, but this is in Medina. So Holy Prophet Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq bit worried.
Yes.
Now this is not the only evidence
there's
we
other
have. There are
evidences
many.
as well, yes.
So Sirat Ibn Hisham.
Yes.
This is very famous Sirah. And in this Sirah,
so Ibn Hisham, just very briefly, he's a historian.
He's a historian.
Historian, okay.
Historian, and he's write a very famous book on life of Holy Prophet ﷺ. The book is translated into English as well.
All right.
So English translation, page 40.
Okay.
He gives a heading, which is the first to embrace Islam. So first to embrace Islam, this heading cannot be a year after or about a year after. So what I am saying that he compiled the people who accepted Islam in first year after Holy Prophet ﷺ claimed to be prophet.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
So in this one, he goes on and writing Hazrat Zaid, Hazrat Ali, Hazrat Rizal Ta'ala anhum. And then he writes Abu Bakr Siddiq Rizal Ta'ala anhu. Then he writes Asma binti Abu Bakr. And then he writes Aisha binti Abu Bakr, who was still young.
I see. Okay.
So now, these family, we know Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Razila Ta'ala anhu was traveling when Holy Prophet ﷺ claimed. So he wasn't the immediate one, but he was within that year.
Okay.
So within the year of claiming, Holy Prophet ﷺ when claimed, Hazrat Aisha Razila Ta'ala anha, who was still young, accepted Islam.
Right, okay.
Now she cannot be like a negative 5 years old, because if she was 6, if she was 9, after 14 years, so she must be negative 5 years while accepting
Which is illogical.
So
still I think it's important to see the choice of words used in this sirat.
Yes.
Right? A young girl or a daughter or who's still young. Who's not of a mature age.
So basically, I would say she was 5. A 5-year-old or 6-year-old person accepted Islam during first year of Holy Prophet ﷺ claiming. And from this to when she moved in with Holy Prophet ﷺ, there is an overall 13 to 14 years of...
And you add that to 6.
You add that to 6, you get 19.
19, yeah, close to
19,
20,
20.
which is a legal age to marry in this day and age.
Yes,
Let's say 18.
exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, perfect. Yes.
And then Battle of Uhud.
Battle of Uhud. Yes, yes. So in Battle of Uhud, as we know, there was the Holy Prophet ﷺ refused to take young children
Yes.
under the age of 15 especially.
Yes.
Right. But we do know that Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha was there during the battle.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
Yes. So she was above 15.
Yes.
So there are narration mentioning that Aisha was attending to the wounded.
Yes.
And she was carrying water in the goat skin, which is like heavy.
Yeah.
Like 8, 9 or 10 liters of water. Yeah. And she was giving it to the
she must have been a very fit, a 15-year-old girl, youth. Yeah.
So she was above 15.
Okay.
So could be that.
Yeah.
So Battle of Uhud was the year she moved in with Holy Prophet. So she moved
she's
in with
definitely
Holy
older
Prophet.
than 15. Yes.
And then battle happened.
Okay.
So, but it was in the same year.
Right.
So that's why we are saying she was 19, 20, because she was strong. She was above 15.
Okay.
Or at least she was above 15.
Yes.
Yeah. So
very good. Yes. This is one proof again.
Yes. And another one is Hazrat Asma Razilatalah anha, her older sister.
So Asma is her older sister?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Her memory is known to be very good.
Yes.
Her memory is very good, and she mentioned she passed away based on her own narrations at the age of 100 years.
Okay. Yeah.
And she passed away in 692 CE,
right,
which is 73 years after Hijrah.
Okay.
So she passed away 73 years after Hijrah, and Hazrat Aisha Razilatalah anha, which means she was 27 at the Hijrah.
Okay. Asma.
Hazrat Asma Razilatalah anha was 27 years of age, because she passed away 73 years later at the age of 100.
Yep.
So Hazrat Aisha Razilatalah anha was 10 years younger,
right,
which means she was 17 at the time of Hijrah. Yeah. And at the time of marriage, 18 or 19.
Excellent. So there you go. So it's important to note here that, what we have presented here is evidence that the hadith that we presented earlier may not have shown a true picture or true account of.
It's a number which can be easily mistaken or
during the transcribing period, during the narration, after many centuries later, after Holy Prophet ﷺ, and after the demise of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha. And we presented evidence, and it's very important to know that this evidence, we have also presented the choice of words is very important. In the history of Ibn Hisham, the choice of words of Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, that, the Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha is now time to, it's ready for her to get married. She's of age. Of age, the customary in those days, anywhere between 12 to 18 or even older. Yeah. Right? So, and then you also presented the evidence of Battle of Uhud, where it is prohibited for young children who are not capable of taking part in the battle, in war.
Holy Prophet sent back all 15 years and younger back to Medina.
Exactly.
And she wasn't sent back.
And she wasn't sent back.
Yes.
So it proves that she's definitely older than what was claimed, right? Yeah. And then you presented many different types of calculation from her birth, her older sister's, age and her demise. And then we worked out approximate age, to wrap up this episode, is that the time of nikah is approximately around 15. And then when she moved into the home of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, which is the Rukhsana in Islam, the consummation of the marriage is around about 18, 19, maybe even 20. So nowhere at the age of 6 or 9 as claimed by our critics of Islam. So with that, I think we can end this episode.
We can present many other, but
definitely. There's so many other evidences, but due to shortage of time, we'll end this episode. And inshallah, we will continue on with answering further allegations. And if you have any questions, as usual, you can always email us on at askislam.perth@gmail.com. You can also send in your comments on our social media channels. And don't forget to subscribe and follow our social media accounts. And with that, I wish you well. Peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.